A new EY survey finds that fewer drivers are interested in buying an electric vehicle as their next car. The new report shows that intentions among respondents to buy a fully electric vehicle within the next 2 years has fallen, with Canadian EV purchase intent dropping nearly 10% below global average. We were joined earlier by Jennifer Rogers, EY Canada's national automotive and transportation leader, to unpack the report and what needs to be done to increase the sale of electric vehicles.
So our report actually measures the car buying intent of individuals in Canada. Firstly, those that are interested in purchasing a car over the next 2 years, that had actually increased from 42 to 48%. But then of those looking to purchase a vehicle, we did see a slight decrease from 52% of those looking to purchase a vehicle that would pick an electric vehicle, including plug-in hybrids, etc. That dropped from 52% last year down to 50% this year. And so, some of what consumers are highlighting as what they feel are impediments to moving to an electric vehicle are things like the range of the vehicle, upfront cost, as well as charging infrastructure. Those are sort of the main factors that they had cited. So I do think there's a bit of education that's required for our consumers. Just the range of vehicles, although that still factors as something that's a bit of a detractor for people looking to purchase a vehicle, it certainly has declined compared to where it was in a few years ago. And so, the range of vehicles has improved over the last few years. And so I do think that, consumers need to be better educated about what that ownership of an electric vehicle and that experience would look like. In addition to that, when you think of things like charging infrastructure, many people charge their vehicles at home. And so when you look at individuals that already own an electric vehicle and might be looking to purchase their next car, a significantly high percentage of those individuals would select an electric car as their second vehicle. And so I think it shows that, with the experience of being an owner of an electric vehicle, people recognize that there are benefits, whether it's overall cost of ownership or things like the limited range and charging infrastructure are less of a factor in how people actually use their vehicle on a day-to-day basis. I mean, obviously, one of the main motivators for people moving to an electric vehicle is actually environmental reasons. So we see that as the second highest reason for people to select an electric vehicle, with 34% of individuals citing that as one of the main motivators. In addition to that, the other motivator is obviously the high cost of fuel at the moment, and so looking at this electric vehicle as from an overall operating cost perspective as being more beneficial. So I think there are positives from that perspective. In terms of more general, from an environment perspective, I think there's elements that, looking back into the entire supply chain behind electric vehicles, obviously in Canada, we do have a lot of clean energy that we use in order to, charge as part of our current grid. A lot of it is through clean energy. And so I think there would be positives from that perspective, from an environmental standpoint.